Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Have you ever been strolling through the meat department in your local grocery store, and next to the fresh meat, you see prepackaged steaks like these? Every time I see these, they give me the heebie-jeebies. Mainly because they don't look right to me, and in my experiences with prepackaged meats, they're generally atrocious, and they make you feel bad for the animals that died to make them. Well, as you know, I'm a glutton for intestinal punishment, and I got these two 6-ounce, Leadbetter bacon-wrapped beef tenderloin fillets to try for you, the people, so you don't have to. These cost $5.99 each, which would be a decent price if they're real beef tenderloin. So right now, we're going to assume it's real whole muscle beef tenderloin, and hopefully we struck gold. But I'm not very optimistic about that. But we'll see for sure in a minute whether they're real or not. Like most processed meats, these fillets contain up to 15% of flavored solution, which is almost 1 ounce of liquid added to the meat. So the 6-ounce package costs $5.99, which works out to be about $1 an ounce per package. But there's only 5 ounces of meat and 1 ounce of water, so that means you're paying $1 for the added water. Now put that into perspective. Say a 16-ounce bottle of water costs $1, or 6 cents an ounce. But if you paid 99 cents an ounce, like the cost of the added solution, that same 16-ounce bottle of water would cost you $16. So that's a huge profit margin for the manufacturer, who might be making 10 or 15,000 of these at a time. In my opinion, it's also a ripoff to the consumer buying these. The bacon is secured with plastic skewers. I'm sure the plastic is somewhat heat-proof, but why not secure the bacon with a piece of butcher's twine or a toothpick to ensure the plastic doesn't melt? Oh, and just in case you're wondering, these are a product of the USA. Now the first ingredient is obviously beef. And then the second ingredient is water. Then you have potassium lactate, which is a preservative. Then you have beef flavor added to beef. Why do you need to add beef flavor to beef? Shouldn't beef already taste like beef? Trisodium phosphate, which is an alkaline cleaning agent that's been used in households for many years. Now that sounds good. The next time I order a steak, I'm going to ask for it medium rare with a side of alkaline cleaning agent. A 10% trisodium phosphate solution has also been trialed for use as an antimicrobial treatment applied to beef trimmings before grinding. Now that right there leads me to a pretty good assumption that this isn't a whole muscle piece of meat. Next we have sodium diacetate, which is another preservative, and has been used in manufacturing and restructuring turkey breast after it's sliced into pieces and reformed. Although there's not specifically transglutaminase in the steak, also known as meat glue, there's a lot of other stuff that makes me believe this isn't a whole muscle piece of meat, but we're going to find out soon. Each steak has 350 calories, 23 grams of total fat, 12 grams of saturated fat, 95 milligrams of cholesterol, 400 milligrams of sodium, no carbohydrates, no fiber, no sugars, and 34 grams of protein. Now here's what these prepackaged 6-ounce bacon-wrapped tenderloin fillets look like once they're unwrapped. And at first glance, they're slimy. Now you'll notice Mrs. Wolfpit's beautiful nails while she's assisting me in this video. The coordination and strength in my hands is getting worse, and it makes it really difficult to manipulate things on camera. If I did what she's doing right now, it would look like my hands were injected with Novocaine, and it would be a blundering fail. So with the help of Mrs. Wolfpit and my wonderful daughters, under my supervision of course, so I can try the lowest quality, highly processed foods for you, the people, so you don't have to. So please don't think any of the beautiful fingernails you see are mine. I haven't reached that point in my life yet. While patting the tenderloins dry, we noticed the underneath that we couldn't see in the package, and it looks hideous. I'm really going to go out on a limb now, and I'll bet both of my pinky toes, that do me no good anyways, that this is not a solid whole muscle piece of meat. It actually looks like a familiar piece of anatomy, and that's all I have to say about that. If your mind's in the gutter like mine, you'll get it. Fortunately, the second one looked a little bit better. So as I mentioned before, I'm not real keen on the plastic skewers. So we removed them and replaced them with toothpicks. I know, right? What am I worried about? I eat all these frozen meals in plastic containers that I heat up in the microwave or the oven, and now I'm worried about a plastic skewer? I know that doesn't make sense to you, the people, but it does make sense to me, the Larry. With these already containing 400 milligrams of sodium, I didn't season them, and I waited until I tried them to see if they needed any additional salt and pepper. So into the skillet they went over high heat with a little bit of cooking spray. Now would you look at the steam coming out of these steaks? That's caused by a lot of water. It looks like a boiling teapot. With that much water in these steaks, you'll never be able to get a good sear. These steaks just continue to steam. There wasn't even a hint of smoke like there is when you sear a good steak. They're basically boiling. The directions said to cook 4 minutes per side over high heat or until they get to 145 degrees, which I would never cook a normal beef tenderloin that much, but these aren't normal beef tenderloins. So I'm going to follow their directions to save myself from another intestinal exorcism. After cooking for 4 minutes per side, we turned them on the bacon side to fry the bacon. After cooking for a total of 12 minutes, our tenderloin fillets were at 143 degrees, so I called them done, since the internal temperature will continue to rise a few degrees while resting. After resting for 5 minutes, the lovely Mrs. Wolfe cut into the tenderloin. If you notice when you cook a fresh steak, the juices look a bit fatty, and depending on how you like your steak, could be somewhat bloody. This is straight water coming out of these. Now you can be the judge whether that looks like a real piece of meat or several pieces of meat. We cut off a piece with a little bit of bacon. Then we said a quick prayer, crossed our fingers, and into the old pie hole it went. And after about 3 chews, it shot out of my mouth faster than a fat kid chasing an ice cream truck. If you enjoy the corny dad jokes, smash that like button. It was bad. Really bad. The kind of bad where you take a paper towel and wipe your tongue off. It was like chewing on a flavorless tire. Very gristly, chewy, and very bland. Even after sprinkling with a little bit of salt and pepper, it was just as bad. But the bad was enhanced from the seasoning. Those 2 bites were more than enough for me. I was ready to throw in the towel and not even try the second one. And even though Mrs. Wolfe said she's not going to try it, she insisted I try the other one. For you, the people. I think she might be trying to take me out and get my life insurance. So that's what we did. And once she cut through it, I cut my losses right then, because this one looked much worse than the first one. This is so obvious to me, it's not a whole muscle piece of meat. And various pieces have somehow been glued together. Just look at how many different directions the grain of the meat is going. It looks like slices of beef have been layered together. And even after cooking, look at all the water still pouring out. This doesn't even look like food. But I do have to give credit where credit's due. The bacon was pretty good. But most bacon's pretty good. The quality of these Ledbetter bacon-wrapped tenderloin fillets is right up there with the chef's requested products, which, as you know, after I did their Dollar Tree ground beef video, they went out of business 2 months later. Did my video have any part of that? I have no idea. But I do know that they were very upset with me for doing a video on their products. They made a post on their Facebook page saying I unleashed all my viewers on them, which I did not. Then one of my viewers contacted them through Facebook, and if you want to hit pause and read the exchange, here it is. Chefs requested should have been out of business long before I tried their food. I'm going to say the same thing about Ledbetter's meats. Well, at least about their bacon-wrapped tenderloin fillets. I haven't tried any of their other foods. They shouldn't even be allowed to sell this garbage as food. But they're going to continue to sell it as long as we, the consumers, continue to buy it. And unfortunately, they'll remain in business. So if you haven't guessed yet, I did not like these Ledbetter bacon-wrapped tenderloin fillets at all, and I don't even consider them food. Which is why, in my opinion, they're simply inedible and unrateable. If you'd like to help support the Wolf Pit, consider being a patron. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, that's only $12 for the whole year. Or you can pledge more, that's up to you. Either way, every little bit's appreciated and helps me produce more high quality videos more often for you, the people. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.